Our next speaker is Francisco Herrera. Francisco grew up in Calexico, California, where he was politically active at the ripe age of 10. He was an organizer with the Faith Alliance for a Moral Economy, founding member of the Coalition to Assist Survivors of War and Torture, and co-founder of the Oakland Catholic Worker House, where he assisted refugees from Mexico and Central America. He's a professional interpreter, and he uses those skills to participate in peacemaking efforts throughout Central America, Mexico, and parts of South America. He was co-founder of the SF Day Labor Program, and he's lived in San Francisco since 1988. Francisco.
I didn't remember half of that. Buenas tardes, good afternoon everybody. As you heard, my name is Francisco Herrera. I'm walking for mayor. And I use the metaphor of walking because when we walk, we smell, we sense, we hear. I know Tim says it's impossible for us to beat Ed Lee. I think we can beat Ed Lee. With Amy and Stuart, we're creating a card that says anyone but Lee, 1, 2, 3. You vote for your 1. I'm putting myself as the 1. I'm asking folks to put Amy as the number 2, Stuart as the 3, and they're going to do the same thing. Ranked choice voting was created precisely to give the voter the power to choose. We are living in an oligarchy city moving towards a tyrannical city, and one of the first things that we need to change is precisely that structure. The Board of Supervisors really has no real power over the budget, and the budget is where the details are, and the love is in the details. As Buck, my good friend, veteran organizer, knows over here, you move money or you move people. What are we here? Are we money or are we people? Yeah. As Tim said, people are not just being moved out in the mission. People in the Sunset District have full-time jobs at Whole Foods or Whole Check, some people call it, and are living in their cars. There's 27 children in one of the richest cities in the world, 2,700 children living in their cars or bunched up in sofas and in living rooms. Unfortunately, sisters and brothers, we are seeing San Francisco, the third world city, which it is now. San Francisco is a third world city with a chunk of very, very obscenely wealthy folks who made money off of our backs and a group of folks who don't have enough to live here. San Francisco needs at least 300 teachers in the school district who cannot afford to live here. So I won't repeat what our good brothers here have already said. The big problem that's happening here is political will and lack of planning. There is no plan that the Lee administration, call it Willie Brown, call it whoever you want to call it, has. There is no plan. There is no future. But the worst thing, as we've been engaging folks, is that our folks don't have a vision. And I would challenge you, Tim, to think that I think we can win. I think we can unseat Ed Lee. But we need you guys to think that too. But we don't only need you guys to think that. We need what Tommy said. We need to act on it. We need to be at every BART station. We need to be at every bus stop. We need to work as we already won. So our campaign, we're leading it in that way. We're working as we already won. What does that mean? When you already won, what the hell are you going to do, right? When you're a teacher, you confront your classroom, that's when you really realize, do I know what I said I knew, and how do I put it into practice? So we need to work. Starting now, like Tommy was saying, that's what we've been engaging part of it. So we have 4 victory points. Winning, unseating Ed Lee, winning the mayor's office. 2, November 3rd, we want to celebrate. We're going to celebrate a victory of establishing a citywide alliance of communities that have a plan Not a 4-year plan, a 12-year plan. We need a real plan. And there's aspects of that plan already there. There's a people budget that so many of us worked very hard to do, to put together. There's a city master plan that has limits on heights that you can build that at least people have been getting rid of. And there's a delusion that we need density. That's the big D word, density. Well, didn't we have density in the mission? And they kick all that density out. So we need to be able to see, what do I want for my kids, my grandkids, and my great-grandkids the next 20 years, the next 30 years. That needs to be our conversation. We keep leaving that conversation to the so-called developers who are not developers, they're destroyers. But we keep calling them developers. What are they developing? Houses like our sister here said, for people who do not live here. I think it's up to 70% of city workers cannot vote in San Francisco because they don't live here. So how do we develop a plan? Land trust is one of the greatest solutions. The land belongs to us. We have to create a spot, like in the mission we've identified 13 sites where we could build decent housing, not towers of Babylon, decent housing up to 3 and 4 floors. If you could build some city buildings from the downtown to the ocean beach that are no higher than 3 and 4 floors, you get your stupid density that is so-called people want. People don't want that density. Google, Facebook, the corporations that are moving people here. There is a horrible thing happening when I see Barbara Boxer, Dianne Feinstein, Ed Lee attacking the sanctuary ordinance that we worked so hard to put together. This is not an ordinance about dogs pooping on the sidewalks. This is an ordinance that saves lives, folks. We have to strengthen that. There are 2 of my brothers-in-law, 60,000 people in the last 6 years have been executed in the state of Chihuahua. 20,000 in Tijuana, in the city of Tijuana. 250,000. There's a war going on in Mexico right now. And if you're seeing the anxiety rise, it's because our relatives are thinking of their relatives. It's because what Tim was saying, our retiring baby boomers are saying, shit, man, I've been a teacher, I've been an enfermero, a nurse, I've been a firefighter all these years. When am I going to get a letter saying my build has been sold? We can't sit like victims. Either we build a political will and across the city, across our neighborhoods, and on November 3rd, celebrate that. So that's our second victory. Celebrate that. Build right now, fight right now, learn who the hell runs what button, pushes what button, and pulls what lever in the city department. Block every planning commission meeting that doesn't respond. Every building that's going to have a planning commission has a big old sign or little sign on the street that says the date. Get the date, get us all that. We are doing that as a campaign because we're running, we already won. So that's the third victory, to celebrate and to look at those ballot measures, not just the local ones, but guess what? White flight has gone statewide. Now they want to divide the state into 6 sections. Why? Because Latinos are a majority. So you create a little white flight section like the so-called Silicon Valley, which includes San Francisco according to their little state map. So we need to fight that, as well as if we were to win the changes on Prop 13, San Francisco would get up to $700 million a year. So let's plan forward. Let's have a vision. Let's create a vision of what San Francisco looks like in the next 20 years. Yes, you can live the next 20 years if you keep your health and exercise and daily good meals, nutrition going. So, so that's for people who might be saying, well, I'm not going to live through it. All right, folks. So, fourth win of this campaign is that we set the groundwork. Apart from supporting Aaron Peskin, which I do, apart from supporting Mercury, which I do as well, apart from supporting the progressive folks, we can set the groundwork for getting a progressive majority 2016. We gotta get the vote out there. Last time only 130,000 people approximately voted out of 600,000 availables. We can get that voter reg, we can get that 70%, a chunk of it to vote. Muchas gracias, thank you very much. Let's